we go.
Since 1977, it's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
It sure is. Welcome, everyone. Oh, man, do we have a lot to cover today? It's amazing how much news is breaking each and every day. Every hour, there's another huge story, and, well, you know, it can be hard to keep up with, but not impossible, and we've got a lot to cover today. In fact, I've got something huge that came out with Mark Levin and Donald Trump, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, and some great audio sound bites covering a whole bunch of things. And there's another scandal with the D.C. judge. You know, the scandal with the D.C. judge, this is, I'm going to have to start making a list. In fact, maybe I'll get a piece of paper out and make a list. When I get to the new scandal for the judge in the D.C. case against President Trump, I'll have to start backwards and make a list, because there's so many things that she is involved in that should have her not only recused from the case, but maybe even removed from the federal bench. I don't know how this woman got confirmed, but I'm going to have to make a list, because there's just too many conflicts of interest going on with this judge in D.C. We're going to get to that in a little bit, and a whole bunch more. I mean, I don't even know if we'll get to everything today, because there's so much breaking news. But I want to start off here talking about something that Mark Levin brought up. Now, Mark Levin, who has the ear of President Trump, and he's also probably the top conservative constitutional attorney in America, right? I mean, wouldn't you guys agree with that? You know, he's conservative, no doubt about that. He's an attorney. He has an expertise in the Constitution, and he is a brilliant legal mind, okay? And although his Sunday night show on Fox is terminally boring, I think he's a great conservative, constitutionalist legal mind. And when he starts analyzing the law, you got to listen, even if it's boring. And he dropped something that is just absolutely amazing, which I'm going to go through right here in the beginning of the program today before we get into all the other stuff, okay? Now, they've been telling us that the Fulton County charges, these are the worst. You know, this Black Panther attorney, Fani Willis, I'm not going to call her Fani, I'm sorry. You know, these people are pronouncing their names like Kamala. It says her name is Kamala. I'd like to know what her mother called her. I bet it was Kamala. But Black Panther prosecutor in Fulton County, Fani Willis, they've been telling us that her charges are the most severe. And then you look at the charges. Mark Meadows is charged with texting someone and asking for a phone number. Donald Trump is charged with telling people to watch Newsmax TV, One American News, and Right Side Broadcasting. These are crimes in Fulton County, apparently. But they've been telling us that, notice how they skip right over the Soros job with Bragg up in New York. But they keep telling us that the Fulton County charges are the worst because he can't pardon himself. Can't pardon himself. Oh, really? Can't pardon himself. Presidents can only pardon themselves from federal crimes. And, you know, I thought that was true as well, but I was wrong. In Mark Levin, I'm going to share with you what Mark Levin said about this. And Mark Levin says that indeed President Trump can pardon himself on the Fulton County charges too. Sorry, and I'm going to get to that in detail. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, people. And, you know, hey, listen, I know most of you probably thought you could only pardon federal charges too, but we're not constitutional attorneys like the great Mark Levin. Now, I know he was a never-Trumper, and I always have my eye on these never-Trumpers, okay? I'm always watching him. I wouldn't trust the guy, but I got my eye on him, and he's right on this. So, I like what he's saying, so he's got to be right. There's a lot of things that were taught in school, in our liberal school books, textbooks, history books, government books, civics books, social studies books, and all this. All of them are written by liberal jerks. And there's a lot of things they teach us that are not true when it involves the United States Constitution, and this is one of them. So let me read this. He posted this on the Twitter. I'm not going to call it X, people. I'm sorry. Your always will be Twitter to me. But I want to read this to you. It is a tweet that Mark Levin tweeted about this very thing, and I'm going to share this with you. This is Mark Levin's tweet. President Trump can, in fact, pardon himself from the Georgia charges if he's elected president. Although I would rephrase that, when he's elected president. And Mark Levin has a 4-point explanation to this. 1, the Constitution's silent about whether a president can be indicted. 2, the Department of Justice has taken the position under both parties that you cannot indict a sitting president because it would cripple the executive branch and make his ability to defend himself effectively impossible. 3, given the DOJ's position and the supremacy clause in the Constitution, that's Mark Levin, I would argue strongly that the idea that a president cannot be indicted at the federal level because it would cripple the executive branch, but can be indicted by local DAs would have exactly the same effect as a federal indictment, except there were thousands of local and state prosecutors making the crippling of a president even more likely. Interesting. 4, and he writes furthermore in all caps, every letter in caps, he writes furthermore. 4, Mark Levin writes, furthermore, if indicted and convicted, the idea that a president cannot pardon himself from state charges is absurd. Again, not only because of the supremacy clause, but the same considerations that apply to a federal conviction would obviously apply to a state conviction. Therefore, I disagree with Jonathan Turley's view and others who keep repeating it. That's Mark Levin, the great one, and he certainly is the great one today because I like what he's saying, and I believe him because when I've heard him talk about the law, the powers of different office holders and presidents and the Constitution, I've never known an instance where he was wrong. Have you? So now again, I got a word of caution to Mark Levin. They're putting attorneys in jail who give Donald Trump legal advice. So watch out, Mark Levin. They might come after you, deranged Jack Smith and all these corrupt public officials that are misusing their public offices. But Mark Levin is telling us that a president can indeed pardon themselves of local and state charges. So this is an unbelievable development, and I'm very curious if this gets any legs, because I'm not hearing this discussed anywhere because they don't want you thinking about that. They want you thinking all these other things. But Mark Levin not only is on to something, I think we can safely assume that he is correct. And, you know, this is an uncharted area of the law because people have never indicted a president before. Now, I want to say this before we break, and your calls are welcome on all these topics because there's just so much going on at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. The governor of Arizona is talking about coming after Trump, too, with some charges in Arizona with a 5th indictment. This is beautiful stuff, people, and let me tell you why. Joe McCarthy, who was right, by the way, the communists were infiltrating this country, and they've taken it over now, right, if you notice. But Joe McCarthy's downfall was that he started accusing everyone of being a communist. I mean, he was just accusing everybody and their brother of being a communist. And he was making too many accusations. And because he was making too many accusations, he lost credibility even among his own supporters. Well, these lunatic Democrats like Katie Hobbs and this Black Panther prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, and the deranged Jack Smith, who does, apparently his father never taught him how to trim a beard growing up, lunatic, they're going after Trump too many times. If they would have picked just one, right, and okay, let's go after him on this, but they're indicting him. Why don't they just indict him in all 50 states? Hey, let's get the territories in too. Let's get Guam with an indictment, in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Come on. Come on. You know, why not? They're going after him so many times over and over and over again, it looks like what it is. So bring it on, Katie Hobbs. Now, we're going to take our first break. There's a lot to cover today. And here in the beginning of the show, I may be going through issues fast because there's so much to get to. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call The Steve Kane Show live on air now.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
Do you think that most...
Okay. Queuing up some audio for the next segment. Yeah, so Mark Levin says that he can pardon himself on local and state charges. That's pretty awesome.
Now, you don't just help with knees.
Yeah, those of you that are new to the program, welcome. If you're new, if you subscribe, you'll love this program, I promise you.
From the foot all the way up to the
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician. And with the laser
I was gonna.
system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no...
I was going to talk about Dr. Appleton, but the commercial's playing.
Same-day appointments are available.
Let me talk about the My Pillow, My Slippers.
954-973-0710. 973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association, and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a...
Does anyone have the My Pillow slippers?
He's voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an
You got to get them if you don't. I'm going to talk about them when we get back, and then I'll get into more of this.
New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing,
You have them?
Tom Laporta
Yes.
can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-46.
The gray moccasin.
954-604-46.
Is that the charcoal gray? Steve has the dark charcoal gray. They look kind of almost black.
Contracting.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Mary on Demand is live. Start your marijuana education journey today. Learn at your own pace and check out the Medical Marijuana Education Series. You decide what you'd like to learn and when with Mary on Demand. Visit mary.famu.edu. That's mmeri.famu.edu. And remember, recreational marijuana is still illegal in Florida. Mary, educate, learn, talk.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not
Two pair.
sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles
Charcoal
in your hands
cream,
and
yeah.
feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. If you're just tuning in, oh, you missed a lot. So Mark Levin is telling us that President Trump can indeed pardon himself from Fani Willis's Black Panther County and Fulton County, Georgia charges. We'll get into that. You know, I want to talk, though, about the My Pillow, My Slippers. A huge special on the My Pillow, My Slippers at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And when I go home every day, I do a Mr. Rogers. I take my shoes off at the door, and I put on my My Pillow slippers, and immediately I feel just relaxed, and I feel the stress just leave my body when I put on the My Slippers, and they're so comfortable. And let me explain how these things work. The My Pillow, My Slippers, which, by the way, is as low as $25 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. You know, they have a 4-layer system in the My Pillow, My Slippers. This is on the website. You can look this up yourself. Layer 1, it has an exclusive 4-tier cushioning system. Layer 1 of the My Pillow, My Slippers has the patented fill. I had no idea. Did you know that? I did not know this. Mike Lindell says, we took the MyPillow patented foam, you know, the ones from the pillows, and they have that inside of the MyPillow My Slippers. That's layer 1. Layer 2 is comfort memory foam that provides micro comfort and support so you can wear them all day long. Layer 3 is the MyPillow patented impact gel to absorb impact and relieve pressure. Layer 4 is the indoor-outdoor sole for all-day use. They're finished with high-quality leather suede, made from U.S. cowhide. They're soft, they're cozy, and they come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 1-year limited warranty. And I'll tell you, I love them. And I was talking to my wife about this last night on my podcast, and what she was telling me is how the MyPillow My Slippers relieve all those pressure points in your feet. And that's why the stress just immediately, you know what it's like? You know what it's like with the MyPillow My Slippers? It's like getting a foot massage. It really is. It's like getting a foot massage. So order yours. They have a whole bunch of new colors in and new sizes. They have smaller sizes for women and children they've recently added, and also big and wide sizes for bigger guys. Okay, so go to MyPillow.com. Huge savings on the MyPillow My Slippers with our promo code Kane at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, so Mark Levin says that President Trump can pardon himself. Now, you know, and I was telling you before the break that they're coming after President Trump too hard. They got 4 indictments. Katie Hobbs in Arizona is talking about a 5th. How about govern your state, huh? You're being invaded by illegals, Katie Hobbs. Stop worrying about Trump. You know, gee whiz. But that they're coming after him so much that they're losing credibility. Now, at this point in time, the only opinions that matter are those of Republicans because we're in primary season now, okay? And, yeah, exactly. And in particular in these early states, like Iowa. So NBC News, that hate Trump like a passion, I mean, they have stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome at NBC News. They hate him. So NBC News went to Iowa, and they talked to Iowan Republican voters who were going to vote in the Iowa caucus about all these indictments. Let me play, and this is beautiful stuff, guys. Listen to this. This is NBC News interviewing Republicans in Iowa who are going to participate in the Iowa caucus. And they're talking to them specifically about the indictments. Listen to this.
Do you think that most people care that he's been indicted for a 4th time? No.
No, that just makes me want to vote for him more.
Oh, wow. No. Makes me want to vote for him more. Sorry, NBC jerks.
Do you think that most people care that he's been indicted for a 4th time? No.
No, that just makes me want to vote for him more.
No.
No.
Why did he get indicted?
Because the Democrats don't like it.
I guess I really don't know. They're just trying to dig up stuff so they can bring it up so that he doesn't run again. Because everybody knows how society is nowadays. If you want to hide something, you just indict them, you know?
Well, my wife keeps me in touch with that because I'm retired and I don't keep up with it. But she watches Fox News all the time.
Gotcha. For as far as I know, it's because he was trying to hide stuff from the due process, but I haven't really looked into it that much.
Okay, so that's Iowa. So in Iowa Republicans, and those are the only ones who matter right now, Republican voters in particular, Iowa, because they're first. So the response to the indictments are varied. It makes me want to vote for him more. I don't know much about it. I don't care about it. And they're just after him because he's winning. That's it. Not doing so. Maybe we want Katie Hobbs to indict Trump. Hey, Newsom, maybe he could indict him too. You know, remember, President Trump said, one more indictment and I've won the presidency. And it looks like that's the case. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Mike.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Yay, Mike! Long time no here. How you doing?
Oh, man, you know, first off, those slippers, those My Pillow slippers, they're like wearing a My Pillow, you know, on your feet. That's what it is. And it's like walking on a cloud, you know. That's how good these things are. But yeah, these all they want is, and you're right about Katie Hobbs. It would be disadvantageous for her to try and indict him, because what's that indictment going to end up doing anyway?
Well, you know what's happening with Katie Hobbs? By the way, thanks for the kind words on the My Pillow, My Slippers. I appreciate that. You know, the thing about Katie Hobbs, I was talking about this on my podcast last night. What she's doing is trying to get on board on a trending topic. You know, what happens a lot of times, it's like in liberal circles on TikTok, all this gender stuff is trending. So a lot of people are getting involved in the gender stuff because it's trending on the TikTok. That's what Katie Hobbs is doing. People haven't been talking about Katie Hobbs lately. She wants to be in the news, so she wants to get on this indictment trend that's going on so she can be relevant and people can talk about her. I kind of hope she does it in a way, because these indictments seem to be helping Trump a lot.
Trump a lot. And as far as Mark Levin goes, yeah, he may be a never Trumper, but he keeps talking like this. Two things are going to happen. One, he's going to get fired from Fox, because that's not what they want to hear at Fox. And two, they're going to go after him.
Hey, by the way, did Alec Baldwin kill that woman in Nevada or Arizona?
I believe it was Nevada.
Nevada? Okay. Why isn't he getting indicted? He killed a woman and shot a man. You know, and so why is he walking free and making movies and he hasn't been arrested? Why is he walking around free? He killed a woman, right?
Yeah, he's a typical Democrat, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, Democrats can get away with murder. But I thought, are you sure? I think, I got to look this up. Did Alec, New Mexico? Well, it's in the same area, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada. I just want to know how a man can shoot a woman dead, shoot a man and wound him. By the way, he shot him with the same bullet that killed a woman. He's walking around free, but Donald Trump's got 4 indictments against him. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know the answer to that.
They go, and look, here's one other thing you go on. You're trying to get Giuliani caught up in this RICO thing when Giuliani knows how RICO is supposed to work, you know, and he used it to shut down the crime families in New York. So you're going after the wrong guy when you're going after Giuliani with RICO.
Well, next Friday, they plan on having 19 people led by President Trump all in front of a judge together at the same time. These people are out of their minds. I got to run for the break. I'm late, but thanks, Mike. Appreciate the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it.
Yeah. So how come Alec Baldwin, who killed a woman, he's not in jail? Okay. Where are we going next?
We brought up news, but it's
yeah.
News. He's actually he could be charged again for the fatal shooting.
Oh, Baldwin.
Yeah, he could be charged again because there's a news report that claims that he did pull the trigger.
Yeah, guns don't fire themselves.
Yeah. So they're gonna put it back onto trial again.
Oh, good. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Alec Baldwin. Ugh. Jeez. I tell you. What a wonderful, wonderful time. You know, wearing the MAGA hats, just wearing the MAGA hat to show support for the president, right? I hope you guys are wearing yours too, as much as you can. Mm-hmm. By the way, guys, if you have not, check out my podcast last night. It looks like Jenna Ellis may have turned on Trump and is working with Jack Smith and Fani Willis, and I got into that on my podcast last night, so check that out. It's the video before this one on my channel here, but it's also the Brian Craig Show podcast is on all podcast platforms too. Check it out. After the show, check it out. Oh no, she's like really. She's trying to walk it back. She's trying to walk it back because she's. If you listen to the podcast, you'll hear it. I gotta make a list. I gotta get some paper. Hold on, guys. I gotta get a piece of paper because I gotta make a list of all the corruption with this D.C. judge. Hold on. Let me get a piece of paper. Okay, got a piece of paper and a pen. And pink. A pink pen.
Or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center.
Yeah. Exactly. Probably, yeah, it probably wants to go to the beach out there.
His new baby mansion.
Yep. Hunter's boss. Burisma money. Huma Ahmadine's attorney. So I got a fourth scandal with the D.C. judge. I don't write many things down, but she's so scandalous. There's so many reasons for her to be taken off this case. I got to make the list because I'm starting to have a hard time remembering. And I got a new one I'm going to add to it today. Mm-hmm. Oh, our new kitten. Yesterday or Tuesday, it was 3 weeks to the day that we had her. Just like a switch flipped. She's acting like a normal house cat now. It's amazing. Kind of white. She's a different color than when we got her because when we brought her home, we gave her a bath. So she's kind of like a dark white.
Your insurance goes up. You lose your license. You total your car. You kill someone. The result of
I saw that he did that. See, that's why you got to watch out for these never Trumpers. Never trust a never Trumper.
Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Just to recap, Mark Levin put a very lengthy post on Twitter detailing that Donald Trump can, in fact, pardon himself on the Fani Willis, Fulton County, Georgia charges, which is really good. Now, and of course, I played that great interviews with by NBC News of the Iowa Republicans. And the indictments, they don't care. Some of them say it makes me want to vote for him more. So the indictments are helping him among the Republican primary voters, which is, of course, a good thing. So this guy interviewed a liberal black woman on the streets of America and asked her about Donald Trump. Listen to this. There's a couple bleeps in here that I had to add because she's a liberal, so she's big on the F word, you know.
Do you support Trump being indicted?
Yes, because he deserves to be in an orange jumpsuit. First of all, he caused a ruckus on January the 6th.
January 6th was it was a horrible day, worse than 9/11, you know?
Yes, it was.
You want to see him charged and thrown in prison?
I do, for life. He's the Antichrist.
Antichrist. Are you religious?
Yes, I am.
Christian?
Yes.
How did you feel about the Nashville school shooting?
I think she's struggling, just like everybody else, and it's all wrapped up in Trump.
You think that's because of Trump?
All of it. Because he's the one that's creating the hate towards the community.
But how is this hate towards the community if a transgender killed 6 Christians? Wouldn't the transgender be the one hating the community?
Yeah, but he's the one that caused the confusion.
I feel like we can't blame Trump for this.
I can tell you one thing. These old white men, all of them deserve to go. I'm a Canadian. I don't even watch my news. I watch American news because this is... I love it. Listen here, when black people and the Democrats get together and they get organized, they're going to take over the world. And they're going to take over the world. Trump.
Okay, yes. So she wants all white men to be done away with, right? All white men should be done away with. Thank you for sparing the white women and children. Oh, man. Gee. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Diane from California.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so I would like to know why MSM isn't talking about remember when they were screaming about Trump is going to take away journalism, he's going to censor us and take it all away?
Yes.
Look what they're...
Well, yeah, unfortunately we got a bad connection all the way from California, but this is like a long distance call back in the 70s, you know. But you know the thing about, remember when calling long distance was a big deal? Oh man, now it's no big deal. Calling internationally is no big deal. You know, here's the deal, okay? What you're talking about are these charges against Trump telling people to watch non-state approved media, Newsmax, OAN, and Right Side Broadcasting. You know, the media aren't even mentioning that story, that part of the charge. The media are not even mentioning the charges against Trump telling people to watch media because it's their competition. So the mainstream media seem very comfortable charging people with crimes for watching non-state approved media, like the Soviet Union.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is America.
It's America, but it very well may be America in name only, if you catch my drift on that, right? I mean, they're taking our freedoms away. Can't even watch Newsmax TV. That's a crime. If I'm in Fulton County and I tell someone to watch Newsmax, or there's a Trump rally coming on, let's turn on Right Side Broadcasting and watch the Trump rally. If I'm in Fulton County, if I committed a crime, it appears so because Fani Willis has charged Donald Trump with doing just that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, listen, we've got a very bad connection, so I got to end the call. I thought it might improve, but thanks so much, okay? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I can't believe the great Brian Craig could be so wrong. And I'm going to tell you why you're so wrong. Hillary Clinton did all of these terrible things, and you, as an American, said they will never indict Hillary Clinton because that would destroy the United States. It would create such a division it wouldn't be good for the country. So she's going to walk because it's better for her to walk than to destroy the United States. Now they're doing it to Trump. See, so you being a logically thinking American, true American person, this is crazy talk for us. This is crazy talk for me, for you. You never thought it would come down to a president, let alone a Secretary of State being charged, and now look what they're doing to our president here.
Yeah.
This is destroying the United States. I was being sarcastic about you.
No, this is actually, in this instance, see, because we're law-abiding people in the MAGA movement, as opposed to Democrats that burn down American cities and loot and everything else, like, you know, South Central, Ferguson, D.C., all this stuff. So, you know, it's a different thing when you do it to a Republican because we're peaceful, as opposed to the Democrats.
There's no mainstream media, it's communist media. They're all in flock together. We got to get that out of the way. There's no two justices, Republican and Democrat. There's no justice. When you don't have equal justice, there's no justice. So there's justice and the country's gone. Our schools are being inundated by transgender
yes.
Our children.
Yes.
Mutilating children. The teachers are interfering in family units to undercut family. The whole country is in the toilet bowl, and they're worried about Donald Trump.
Yes.
You gotta understand something. That all these indictments, if they had done it in one place, it would have been bad enough. But now I mean, 19 charges were put in Georgia. Let me tell you something. All of this shows people that it's all about politics. Has nothing to do. If Trump had gone to La La Land and never run again, nothing would be happening with.
Well, the mistake they're making, as I was talking about in the first segment, the mistake they're making is they've come after him in too many places. Now Katie Hobbs in Arizona is doing it, and they've lost credibility even among many of their own people. If they would have stuck to one, obviously it'd still be wrong, but they would be doing better on the left than they are now. It's overkill, exactly. You know, it's just too much, and they've lost credibility with their own people, with liberals.
I'm going to bring up this racist what the blacks are going to take over the world. I'm going to throw this in because I hope this Jay from Jersey calls this moron. And Jay, you are a moron out there. I know you're listening. And I can care less what you say about me because every day you expose yourself on this radio show to be a total racist and moron. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, you said to me, well, Richie, you've been exposed to a different element of black person when bus going into neighborhoods. I was like, did you ever hear about the barbershop talk, how blacks, when they were in a barbershop, actually talk about what they wouldn't do in front of white people? They actually talk amongst them.
Yeah.
Well, I used to listen to this crap every day. Uneducated neighborhoods. This is how they feel. They resent white people, white men. They are totally.
Well, I've seen this. I've had this happen a little bit because, my daughter being black, she's had black friends, and when she was little, and I would drive her around with her friends to go bowling or skating rink or Chuck E. Cheese or something, her friends would forget that I was white, because they're so used to me, and the things they would say sometimes, like, I couldn't believe, and there was one that was really funny. Okay, this is when my daughter was in high school. This was one of my favorites. So I'm driving my daughter and one of her friends, who's her friend who's black. We're going somewhere, and they were in a school play together, and the girl had tried out to be play the mother of the main character, and she didn't get it, and they casted white people to play the parents of a black actor at the high school play. And my daughter's friend said to my daughter, it doesn't make sense. He's black and his parents are white. It doesn't make sense. I should have gotten the part. And my daughter says, well, my parents are white and I'm black, And she says, oh, I forgot, And I'm sitting right there driving the car, mind you, and she's in the back seat. And there's been some other instances, but that one stands out.
I listened to stuff for so many years, and I used to say to myself, this is pure hatred and ignorance. And you want to know, it's not all black people, so I'm not knocking black. I'm knocking the uneducated hate crowd that's all over the.
Well, Steve, see, Richie, driving a Broward County bus through Fort Lauderdale. You're driving homeless people, winos, drug addicts, prostitutes. You're driving the poorest of the poor. Yeah.
And that's a big backlash in this country. Now, real quick, Riviera Beach last night were backlash against the black teaching in history. They're already protesting it, and they say we're not going to let white people get away with this. This is craziness.
Yeah.
It's really nuts.
Yeah.
Channel 12 News last night, by the way, Beach.
Yeah.
Already complaining about black history not being taught properly because Their history is 1619 Project and all this and white man is bad, black man is great.
Well, you know, unfortunately, what American history has become is it's all about slavery. That's all, and slavery was a terrible thing, but this country ended slavery. We didn't start it. It was brought here by the Europeans, and we ended it. And come on.
And they'll never stop. It's getting worse. They are totally obsessed. I never see anything like it. I just tell you.
Well, it's decades of brainwashing of anti-Americanism is what's happening. All right, Rich, I got to run for the break. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, NAPA has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day to finally get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way, too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
We'll be back in just a minute, guys. Hey, Sarah, welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. There's over 1,100 in the live stream right now, and only a handful of you have liked the video. Please like the video. When you like the video, that tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and other videos of mine to other people that have not yet found my channel. So liking the video, guys, helps spread the word about the channel on the road to 100,000 subs. So I would appreciate that, guys, and liking the video helps so much.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental.
Oh, here's Richie's commercial.
This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. Our number toll-free from anywhere, no matter where you're listening to us, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You know, I remember being the longest-running radio show, I remember when we had special toll-free numbers just for cell phones. And we had a different toll-free number for different cell phone providers. Like, this one doesn't even exist. Bell South Mobility, it was pound 385. I remember that like it was yesterday. I can't remember the other one. Yeah, we'd have to say, if you're a Bell South Mobility customer, it's toll-free, pound 385. Now, who cares about any of that stuff? That's back in the days of 30, 40 cent a minute phone calls. But it's toll-free no matter where you're calling from, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. April 27th, that's when we leave on our 5th annual MAGA cruise. Each year, we take a listener cruise, and this one is our biggest cruise yet. We're going to the ABC Islands, which is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. You guys are going to love it. And we're going on the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines. That is the Celebrity Beyond. You know, the reason we take Celebrity, our first cruise was not on Celebrity. It was on Royal Caribbean. And there's a couple reasons why we choose Celebrity. It's mainly adults. There's very few children on board. I mean, maybe 5. It's for adults, which, I mean, I love my kid, but I get annoyed on vacation at other people's kids, right? You understand what I mean? Especially at the buffet and stuff like that. But there's very few kids, handful of kids. You know, in fact, on the last one, I didn't even see any children on the last one. So I like that. And Celebrity is also an upscale cruise line. It's like a yacht. But we're going to the ABC Islands, and let me tell you, this ship is filling up, in particular in certain cabin sizes. I made some changes to my cabins. I've got 2 cabins, and I made some changes, and it's filling up in different cabin categories. And also over the summer, there's the summer sales event is going on. There's some great specials in the month of August with Celebrity. So call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. I'm going to give his number to you in just a moment and make your reservation. And not only are we going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, we have shore excursions at every port. And at one destination, we have 2. And I'll be on every shore excursion with you. We have dinner together every night. We have breakfast and lunch events together. We go to the Broadway shows together, the concerts together. And we spend the night in the clubs and the bars, having a great time, hanging out. We just have a great time together. We basically take over the ship. We're the most well-known and popular group of people on the ship. Believe me, it's a great time. Those that have been, you know what I'm talking about. Those that have not gone, this is the one, man. If you've not been with us before, go on this one. Our group is so large, we're actually bringing staff to help on this one. It's that big, and it's going to be a great time. So call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. When you call Ian, he'll go over all the pricing. You know, pricing varies so much depending on which cabin you get and which cabin you choose, and then where the cabin's located. There's so many factors that go into the pricing of what a cruise costs, and Ian will go over all of that with you on the phone. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us, all right? We'll have a great time. Okay, so Kevin McCarthy, what a snake. Let me play this. This is Kevin McCarthy.
About the pay-to-play for the Bidens, we didn't know all of what transpired, but what do we know now? Now, having followed and pulled on the strings, we now know that the Biden family created 20 shell companies when Joe Biden became vice president. We know that the Biden family got 16 of the 17 payments from Romania while he was still vice president. The president told us he had nothing to do with the Biden family's workings, but now we found out through the partner just last week that, no, he literally called in. He had dinners, and after the dinners, the Biden family got a new Porsche. They got $3.5 million wired to them. So things seem to be happening here. We also found out where President Biden told us that his family got no money from China. We now know that, yes, they did get money from China. We now know that the FBI, from one of their most prominent informants, was warned that they were told a number of years ago that they had to bribe Joe Biden. So this just raises a lot of questions. We now know that Attorney General Garland has said one thing in the investigation of Biden, but the IRS whistleblowers say something else happened. So what we're trying to find is who lied and what are all the truths.
Okay, so where's the impeachment committee? Kevin McCarthy. I mean, Kevin McCarthy walked through all these crimes. Where's the impeachment committee? Where are Republican prosecutors? You know, not every prosecutor is a Soros Black Panther prosecutor. We have Republican prosecutors and attorney generals. Why are they not bringing charges against Biden? You know, these meetings and phone calls were done in different states and jurisdictions. You mean to tell me that he didn't make any of these phone calls in a Republican state's attorney's jurisdiction? Why can Kevin McCarthy not have an impeachment committee already in place, especially with all these indictments coming down? I don't trust Kevin McCarthy, all right? I've called him for a long time the Judas of Mar-a-Lago. He is what he is. We can't trust this guy, but he'll be embarrassed into doing the right thing at some point. All right. Now, this judge in the D.C. case has more conflicts of interest than I've ever seen. She should be recused from the case and maybe even removed from the bench. This woman has so many conflicts. How'd she get confirmed? So during the break, I went and got a piece of paper because I had to make a list. I don't write anything I talk about on the show. I don't write stuff down. Everything's off the top of my head. I don't write anything down. You know, like Glenn Beck, the whole show's written. It's like a book on tape. He's reading his entire show, his monologues and all this. Nothing is written here. However, this judge in the D.C. case of deranged Jack Smith against President Trump has so many conflicts of interest. I got a piece of paper and a pen because I'm losing track. So I have a new conflict that I'm going to share with you in a moment, but I have 3 things on my list, and let me know if I'm leaving anything out. This is the D.C. judge, okay? She was Hunter Biden's boss at the law firm. That's one. That's a big conflict because she was an equity partner. She was Hunter Biden's boss. 2, she took Burisma money. She took money from Burisma. That's the Ukrainian company that the prosecutor was looking into and all that. She took Burisma money in that since Burisma was Hunter's client at the law firm and she was a partner, she got money from Burisma. Then at the end of last week, we find out that the firm, and since she's a partner, every client of the firm is her client, that she was the attorney through the law firm as a partner to Huma Ahmadine, Hillary Clinton's best friend, some rumors say even closer than friends, and during all that Hillary Clinton email business. As 3 conflicts, she should be removed from the case on any one of those. Did I leave any out? Here's the new one. It's in Breitbart. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll get to the phones in a moment. U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, who was assigned to the January 6 case against President Trump, is related to some of the most influential Jamaican Marxists. Special counsel Jack Smith indicted Trump on 4 counts. The judge's family has ties with the top Marxist revolutionaries in Jamaica. Revolutionaries? That means they're taking up arms against the government of Jamaica? Born in Kingston, the judge's grandfather and great-uncle played a key role in founding Jamaica's People's National Party. Her uncle was by far the most influential member of the Marxist group. He joined the Marxist group, became known simply as the Left. He was the most influential member of this Marxist revolutionary group. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, this is her uncle. It's her grandfather. Every time I turn on MSNBC, they're pointing out that she's Jamaican. They're very excited about this. And when you put this together with everything else that is going on, so the granddaughter of a Marxist revolutionary is going to be the judge overseeing not just these J6 prisoners, which there's some conflicts with that. She's accusing them of being what her family are, but she's going to oversee Trump in a January 6 case when she comes from a family of revolutionary communists? There's a problem here with this judge. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, our supposed Republicans are a bunch of spineless cowards. They worried more about getting reelected and looking good than standing for the constitutional rights of President Donald J. Trump. And it's disgusting, and we are taking notes, and a lot of them are not going to be reelected.
I hope you're right. Because I'm going to tell you something. If this does not go in our favor, which means Trump back in the White House, I think what we'll end up doing is boycotting the Republican Party at every level. not just in Congress, but I'm talking even dog catchers, okay? If there's a Republican running for dog catcher, we're going to boycott that too. That's what we can do. That's what we'll have to do. The Republican Party will cease to exist if Trump is not the president.
And the Democrats win because they're trying to stop Donald Trump. We, the people behind him, get off their butts and stand up on the front steps of that White House and say, we are going to stand up for his constitutional rights.
That's right.
Save every one of their jobs.
Yeah, well, they don't seem interested. I think they're all on the take. Jeff, I got a break for the top of the hour. Great call, great points. Thanks so much. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're going to see daytime highs today right around 90 degrees with widespread heavy rains this afternoon. Deluge-type downpours are a real likelihood today, so consider that from about 2 until 7 p.m. I'm WPB Out 25. First warning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
A disabled vehicle has the right shoulder blocked in Del Rey, I-95 heading northbound at Atlantic Avenue. Further northbound into West Palm, I-95 heading northbound on the ramp to
Yeah, I'm tired of these Republicans too.
The exit ramp blocked. Also, Clementa Street is still closed from Dixie Highway to Olive Avenue. Take Banya Boulevard instead. The rest of Broward County is incident-free. This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies. The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF to help connect schools to the internet. Accidental damage protection included.
Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to go to the phones when we get back. Got to do a quick recap, then I'm going to go to the phones.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show featuring amazing vendors with something for everyone. Enjoy free admission and parking, prizes, great food and drink options, and more in air-conditioned comfort. Plus, catch all the exciting OTV action and poker action with big games on our sports TVs. We also have a full lineup of great events coming up. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your true oldies ABC News update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Falling on his sword. Sources confirmed to ESPN that U.S. women's national soccer team manager Vlatko Andonovski has resigned after the World Cup embarrassment.
The decision comes less than 2 weeks after Team USA, four-time tournament champions, got...
It should be Team Anti-USA. This women's soccer team won't stand for our anthem. Bunch of ungrateful losers.
ABC's Lionel Moise. Officials on Maui have announced that the death toll from the wildfires is now up to 111, with recovery resources streaming into the island, and the White House has announced that President Biden and the First Lady will travel to Maui on Monday. The family says Ada Deer died in hospice. The Native American leader from Wisconsin was the first woman to head the Bureau of Indian Affairs appointed by Clinton in '93. Ada Deer was 88. This is ABC News.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail.
Yeah, Jeff's calls are always very good. I wish I had more time, but that top of the hour break is a hard break.
Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 me true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all.
We'll be back in about 1 minute.
A free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their
Well, thank you, Roxanne. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. You know, we have a couple of callers from Hawaii, and I have not heard from them since the fires. There's the German lady who lives in Hawaii. I cannot remember her name. She calls in on occasion.
With the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050.
Yeah, we got a great community here. Great community.
5050.
Love the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World.
Yeah, Jeff's a good caller because he always gives me something to pivot into. You know what I mean? Like he adds something to the conversation, another angle. All right, here we go. All right, hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Call us on hold, stand by. Quick recap. I did a lot in the first hour, but I just want to mention what I started with. The great Mark Levin, who did something I disapprove of yesterday, but I don't want to get distracted into that right now. But the great Mark Levin, who is probably the #1 top conservative Republican constitutional attorney in America. I went through a detailed explanation that he gave that shows that President Trump can indeed pardon himself from the Black Panther prosecutor, the Fulton County, Georgia charges. And yeah, good stuff, guys. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I was listening to Mark Meadows saying how they could switch this Georgia case over to federal. That would be really amazing if that could happen, man. I'm hoping that's going to happen.
Mark Meadows, I've had Mark Meadows on my podcast. I don't brag much, not on the air. I save the bragging for home. To the wife and my daughter, they're not interested. But Mark Meadows was I interviewed him a couple times, but one in particular, I talked to him about the when President Trump had COVID, and when President Trump had COVID. And I was in tears, and I talked to him about it. I told him, I said, when Marine One touched down in front of the White House, I thought we were going to lose him. And I know you were on the helicopter with him, and he said, Brian, he said, President Trump was far sicker with COVID than people realize. He insisted on walking. He said, I had to carry his things. He couldn't carry anything. And I said, when he did that drive-by, when he was in the hospital, it brought me back, and I tell you, and I talked about how the media were saying terrible things. They were blaming him for getting COVID and all this. And anyway, Mark Meadows was so impressed with, I don't know if it was the interview or my emotional connection. He had a conversation with President Trump about me. And told me about it, and I don't, I know people, and people know me, and sometimes you'll hear me mention it. I don't do it that often, but I'm doing it now, and I was really impressed that he, and by the way, I did not ask him to do that. I didn't ask him to do that. He did that, and he told me he did that, and that really impressed me. And in fact, it was that same day that I interviewed him, when I talked to him about the COVID business with President Trump, that he talked to the president about me, and that just blew me away.
One of these days, you should be ringing the doorbell on and Mar-a-Lago and say, I'd like to speak to.
That's right. That's right. Like Tucker Carlson just shows up unannounced and gets let in, you know.
You let him know.
Well, don't be so, you know, listen. You don't know where I've been. You know, just because I haven't told you or said anything doesn't mean I haven't met them or been there.
I can guarantee you.
No?
That if you've been in there.
No, not necessarily. No, under certain circumstances and things happen and certain events, you don't always share such things.
Well, if you haven't shared, we always love to hear about that one, man, because I think you deserve being in there for sure. I mean, the last thing is these people, they must be ashamed of themselves. How can these people from Georgia come up with this list of these ridiculous...
Okay, let me tell you why, okay? I played this clip. By the way, if you're on hold, stand by. I know I don't usually keep Doug on this long, but I went, okay. I played this clip in the last hour with this black liberal Canadian about President Trump. And let me play it again because it's relevant to what to Fani Willis in Fulton County. Now, I just want to say there's some beeps here I added. The bleeps are when she uses the F word.
Yes, because he's he deserves to be in an orange jumpsuit. First of all, he caused a ruckus on January the 6th.
January 6th was it was a horrible day, worse than 9/11, you know?
Yes, it was.
You want to see him charged and thrown in prison?
I do, for life. He's the Antichrist.
Antichrist. Are you religious?
Yes, I am.
Christian?
Yes.
How did you feel about the Nashville school shooting?
I think she's struggling, just like everybody else, and it's all wrapped up in Trump.
You think that's because of Trump?
All of it. Because he's the one that's creating the hate towards the community.
But how is this hate towards the community if a transgender killed 6 Christians? Wouldn't the transgender be the one hating the community?
Yeah, but he's the one that caused the confusion.
I feel like we can't blame Trump for this.
I can tell you one thing. These old white men, all of them deserve to go. I'm a Canadian. I don't even watch my news. I watch American news because this is... I love it. Listen here, when black people and Democrats get together and they get organized, they're going to take over the world. And they're going to take over the world. Trump.
Okay, now the reason I play that at the end, you know, that's not Fani Willis, but it very well could be Fani Willis, okay? She wants all white men locked up. All white men she wants locked up. And black people are going to take over the world. Yeah. You know, this is critical race theory, you know, and the significance of Fani Willis being raised by a militant Black Panther father, you know, that is the mindset of Fani Willis. All white men should be locked up. That's what we're dealing with, hardcore racists in Fulton County.
Yeah, but I mean, you come up with something that is going to make sense, not some stupid charges that nobody wants to hear.
All right, Doug. I appreciate the call, Doug. Thanks for calling. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah, conservative Doug brought up something I was going to mention to you about. The thing is if you're a federal officer, as Mark Meadows was, you can't be charged because otherwise there's thousands of local jurisdictions around the country. Any one of them could tie up a federal officer, especially including the president. So I won't be too surprised to see very soon if the Trump team makes the move to move the trial from the Fulton County to the federal court. Now, one thing. If it does happen, the federal court in northern Georgia includes a lot of several, including I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's very pro-Trump county. So they'll get Trump jurors in there. But
that's right.
I'm looking forward to that happening. Now, one other thing, because I was talking about it yesterday, I think this is a really big deal. I'm hoping some news team out there is looking into this. Like, I'm absolutely positive, without a doubt in my mind, that Fani Willis, you know, maybe she wasn't directly on the phone with Jack Smith, but I guarantee you her team, her crew was in close contact with Jack.
Okay, now let me ask you about this, because you found that, you saw that in the press. Is that a crime? If she's coordinating with Jack Smith, is that criminal?
I don't know if it's criminal, but it shows that it's extremely political beyond belief.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you another thing. Do you remember when they tried to look into the Alvin Barr case, where they're asking, they're trying to get that guy to testify, but he refused in Congress? Remember that guy that was working for a while for Barr's, and Bragg's office?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I think there's interference. I'm hoping this all goes to the Supreme Court, because this is electioneer.
And I know John Roberts is, compromised, but we have a 6-seat majority. We have a Trump Supreme Court. I'm confident that the Supreme Court would do the right thing. I'd like to hear Mark Levin talk about why the Trump team has not gone to the Supreme Court yet. What are they waiting for? Does something have to happen to go there? Can they, this could be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court. Things are fast-tracked there beyond above the appellate courts and things on severe things. I don't see why this couldn't be.
Yeah. Well, one thing is the Supreme Court isn't in session until, I think, October, so that's one thing.
No, but they're always on the job. No, they're always on the job, and when they're not in session and there's special crises, things can come up, and those judges oversee different districts and different courts throughout the country and all of that. No, there's always someone on duty. No, them not being in session can't be the answer, because this is a nation in crisis right now.
The first thing that I think that might go to the Supreme Court is if Trump, I hope he does, makes the move to switch it from Fulton County to a federal court. Now, if it's denied or something, it's got to be appealed. It goes pretty quick to the Supreme Court. I'm going to be real curious to see what happens. So if Mark Meadows is able to switch it to the federal court, I'm pretty sure you're going to see the Trump team try to do it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, PJ, got to run for the break. Good call. Thanks so much. Callers on hold. Stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call this.
All right, over 1,200 in the live stream. Make sure you guys like the video, all right? Less than half of you have liked the video, and that helps spread the word about the channel so much, guys. So if you've not liked the video, please do.
Starting at just $99 per person for cruises now through April 2024. From pickleball to piano bar and everything.
Someone's asking about the cat. This is yesterday. This is like, I don't know, about, this was about, it tells me 7:25. It was raining, and this is my dog Nina and our cat Luna sleeping on the couch. Luna is looking outside at the rain, and Nina's sleeping. So they're getting along pretty well. So that's Luna, our new cat. And that's Nina. Nina is about 15 years old, so she's old.
Most cases are never reported. So if
Ask you one.
being abused or neglected, contact your local authorities. Your call may save an animal's life. This message from Cindy's Pet Center, where you can find food and supplies for all domestic pets.
Yeah, Nina has been very good with the cat. Our dog has been just great with the cat. The other cat was my daughter's cat, and she took her cat to California with her. So. Yeah, Nina's getting old. She's getting up there. She's having, we're starting to see some signs of aging in her. Yeah, we got her at the Humane Society, Nino. We had one dog we bought from a breeder, a golden retriever, was just mental defective. Now we'll never do that again. We'll be back in about a minute. Oh, dog, yeah. Yeah, we had to give the dog away to somebody. She was just out of control. I'll never get a dog from a breeder again after that, never. That was many years ago. It was like 20 years ago.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Good.
Yeah, you got to get off the speakerphone.
Okay, let's see. This is Harvey near Daytona.
Hey, all right, Harvey. Here we go. I know. Of course, of course. He wasn't listening, just tuned in. You know, I don't know why I don't know why you always have to like feel embarrassed that you're listening to the program that you're addicted to. You've always got this, anytime you call in, Harvey, you've always got some excuse as to why you just happen to coincidentally tune in at this particular moment in time.
You're a sick person and you're spreading tremendous propaganda. You're really a sick bastard. But I tuned in and you were talking about the judge. I think that was slanderous what you said about the judge. What is she, a Jamaican Marxist revolutionary?
It's not slanderous. There's an article written about her in Breitbart. Her grandfather was a member of the Jamaican Revolutionary Party and a Marxist, as was her uncle, her family. It's not slanderous. My grandfather was a veteran of World War II who fought in the Battle of the Bulge and was a police officer for 35 years. He wasn't a Marxist, a communist, or a revolutionary.
Grandfather?
Yes.
She's probably a self-made woman. I mean, what would it matter in this country? It doesn't matter what your father was, your grandfather was. It matters what you are.
Uh-huh. Well, this is, if you go through, I'm so glad you just coincidentally just happened to have one of those accidents where you turned on this program again so that we could have this wonderful conversation. Here's the thing with the judge, okay? First off, I'm going to go in reverse. There's 4 things with her. That's the latest, number 4, where she should be recused. She is overseeing cases of January 6ers as well as President Trump in January 6th. Excuse me. Just stop waiting to talk and listen for a moment. So the judge comes from a family of revolutionaries, and she's passing judgment on people that she is accusing of being revolutionaries. There seems to be a conflict. There's 3 other things about her where she should be recused from the case. She was Huma Abedin's attorney during the Hillary Clinton server scandal that Hillary Clinton was involved in. Okay, that's a conflict. She took money from Burisma. Burisma was a client of her law firm of which she was a partner for. So she took money from Burisma, the Ukrainian company. She was Hunter Biden's boss at the law firm. She was a partner at the law firm. Also, she was not just appointed by President Obama. Prior to that, she was a donor to President Obama. And there are crimes right now that Donald Trump and others in the MAGA movement are bringing out about Joe Biden that were committed under Obama's watch. There's too many conflicts of interest with this judge, Harvey.
Well, I could care less. I could care less. It doesn't.
Oh, that's how you deal with an argument. Yeah, I could care less. You know, just because you can't defend the judge, you got to say you don't care.
Let's go with where do you get the list of talking points that you speak every day?
I don't. All right. Okay. All right. Now he made me hang up on him. He said BS. You can't say that. See, Harvey, do you guys remember what was that? What was the name of that game show? Do you remember, Mike? The one, it used to be with Regis Philbin where you could phone a friend. What was the name of that? Does anybody remember the name of that? I can't remember the name of that show. You know, what happens a lot of times when liberals don't have answers, they do things, you know, they can't phone a friend, they can't ask the audience for help, so they do the weakest link. Yes, very much. Thank you very much. The weakest link. So they do things to force me to end the conversation because they can't. By the way, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm just waiting for the delay to build back up because of Harvey's potty mouth. So they do things to make me discontinue the conversation because they have no arguments. Oftentimes, they use profanity, as Harvey just did. He asked me, where do I get my talking points? I do not have talking points at all. No one gives me anything. I just read the news, and I'm informed, and I put the pieces together myself. All right, the delay is reactivated. You're on the air. You're not going to use profanity, are you?
Good morning, Brian.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is...
By the way, the show was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, not The Weakest Link. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was the Regis Philbin show. All right, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
This is Ronnie Vic W. from West Palm Beach.
All right, how are you, West Palm?
I'm doing okay. You know, I've been listening to your show this morning, and so I'm just going to point out a couple of things, and I'm off the air. You know, for this racism, it's not in my father's house, like the young lady said. She's a Christian, so she has to get rid of that because none of that is there. And also, blacks do not know their history because slavery started with them. Who and what was Hannibal? That's number 2. Obama didn't release people of color out of prison for insignificant things. It was Mr. Donald Trump that did that. So I would like to say to my so-called brothers and sisters out there, you need to get your facts straight before you start pumping out lies and all these innuendos.
Yeah, in fact, you're right on the money. And so far as the African slave trade, the European slave traders did not invade Africa and kidnap people. The Africans captured people and took them to the beach and gave them to the slave ships, okay?
That is the truth. So they need to understand where their history started from, number one, and stop blaming people for their problems and their plight.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say.
All right. All right, from the mean streets of West Palm Beach. Good call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Very good calls today, I must say. Yeah. Yeah, Harvey.
About how unfair the justice system is to some of these cases, but then when it comes to Trump, I don't care.
Exactly. See, that's a common thing. That people that don't like you on the radio, they always got to tell you they're not listening. And if they're like, I remember there was a radio guy died, and Steve and I went to their funeral, right? And of course, everyone that's a radio person tells us they don't listen to us in the show. I haven't listened in years, and then we're talking to them. They know everything about our lives. How do they know if they're not listening? You know what I mean? It's just a thing that you know.
When you called out Jay from Jersey for always answering and being like, oh.
Exactly.
He stopped doing that after you called him out.
It's one of those radio accidents. They just happened to flip on the radio just now. I don't listen, but I just was flipping through the dial, you know.
I believe that say that is when they find you. Like, oh, I'm scrolling through and I found you and I love this show.
Exactly. People like Harvey are the most loyal listeners we got. They listen every day, every minute for decades. Ugh. Okay.
That's happy 20129. That's rough from Chris Ball.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show featuring amazing vendors with something for everyone. Enjoy free admission and parking, prizes, great food.
He said, where do I, you know, he wants to know why am I saying these things about the judge? I go through it, and then he says, I don't care. Don't care.
We also have a full lineup of great events coming up. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, Dwayne. Jeez.
Concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are. And restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 95.
I'm going to turn Harvey into part of the commercial.
Or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 95.
I'm going to use him in the next commercial I'm doing.
4602.
To celebrate all my special occasions, Cafe Chardonnay is the place that I choose. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Dining at Cafe Chardonnay turns any ordinary evening into a special occasion. For over 30 years, owners Frank and Gigi have created a restaurant with a unique atmosphere, elegant yet warm and friendly. Cafe Chardonnay features today's freshest local farm produce and seafood just caught from the ocean. Cafe Chardonnay partners with nearby farmers, ranchers, and fishermen to provide the highest quality ingredients. And Chef Frank's talent combines these fresh ingredients to create exciting dishes.
Make every evening a celebration at Cafe Chardonnay, located in Palm Beach Gardens on PGA Boulevard and Military Trail. Call 561-627-2662, 561-627-2662, online at cafechardonnay.com.
And be sure to enjoy a glass of wine from Cafe Chardonnay's legendary wine cellar.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you are aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Oh, yeah.
To schedule your consultation today.
That was a please hang up on me. I've got no answers. You're whipping my butt, so let me use profanity and force you to hang up on me. The show's flying by today. We're just over halfway through. I like rhinos. So that's why I call them rats. Nobody likes rats. Republicans against Trump. Rhino's a nice animal. They're an amazing animal. It's too, and to call these traitors rhinos is too complimentary. That's why I like rats. Republicans against Trump. All right, callers on hold, stand by. You know, Harvey, you know, I had to dump Harvey because he used profanity. You know, there's certain words you can't use on the radio. If you go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, every day around 10, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire show. as a podcast at trueoldiesfla.com. And when people call in and use words like Harvey that we can't play on the radio, you can hear them. That's right. When you listen as a podcast, because, you know, online you can use such language. That was a real desperate, you know, thing is, we got a lot of liberals that listen to this show. Yeah. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate, this is a funny thing happened to me a few weeks ago. I'm over at Friendly Tire in Margate, and I'm talking to Friendly Mike, and there's this guy, he's like staring at me, looking at me, and I'm looking as my zipper down, what's going on? And Mike says, oh yeah, he's a listener of yours, but he thinks you're an AH. I said, really? He's like, yeah, he's a Democrat. I said, yeah, but he's here buying the tires from you, right? He's like, yeah, he is. And he was looking at me, just looking me up and down, judging me, all angry and everything. He thinks I'm a MAGA jerk without credibility, but he's buying tires from Friendly Tire in Margate. Let me tell you about Friendly Tire in Margate real quick. First off, he does tire repairs. Other tire shops don't. They don't do repairs. He does repairs. Okay, so, you know, run over a nail or something, you can take it over to Friendly Tire in Margate. But he has thousands of good used tires in stock at great prices, but his new tires are the all-time lows you'll find anywhere else. He has all the brands you love, Pirelli, Firestone, Bridgestone. You can get them all there. And, yeah, that's right, at prices you will not find anywhere else. You can call him, and he'll give you a quote right over the phone. But remember, when Friendly Mike gives you a price over the phone, that is out the door and on the road. There are no added charges. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. Okay? So when you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, remember that. That's out the door and on the road. Very good. Give him a call, 954-977-9445. He's also open on Saturdays. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cynthia from Fulton County.
Hey, Cynthia. You're not going to use profanity like Harvey from Daytona, I hope.
No,
Right. Liberal. That's right. That's right.
Back after Barry Goldwater lost, Phyllis Shapley, who, by the way, supported Trump, she was one of the first ones to endorse him. She was in her 80s, a wonderful woman, wrote a book called Choice, Not an Echo, and she wrote about the kingmakers. We would call them the globalists, elites, or whatever, that we call today in our Republican Party. They are the same people. They are the Rockefeller wing of the party, and they're not going to want Trump. None of them want Trump because he's a populist and a real conservative.
Well, you know what? You know what they are. We call them country club Republicans. They're very happy having this small little private country club that doesn't win most offices, but they have a party that they control, and they don't like regular people coming into the club. That's the way it is.
They're not. You know, they're very well off, and they just don't care about us, basically. But Phyllis Shapley is such a wonderful woman. When she passed away, Steve Bannon and our president went to her funeral. I mean, she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And everybody should try and read a little bit of her book. You can read, actually, Choice, Not an Echo, the second book, which she wrote about Mitt Romney, Mitt for Brain.
Oh.
Romney, and his demise. I mean, we have to get smart. This is the first time I can tell you since I've been involved in the party that people are getting smart. They understand where the donors are, and that's because of you and Conservative Treehouse. People are waking up. Laura Loomer. We need to name the names so people are wise to it. And when you go to your local REC meeting, you should also ask questions, and you should, you know, say where do they stand. Because the state parties are almost as bad.
Oh, they're worse. They're worse, and they're worse. I mean, oh my goodness. But you know the thing, and a little self-credit here. But Laura Loomer and myself, I believe, played a large role in the downfall of Ron DeSantis. The two of us together, and we weren't coordinating. I mean, we know each other. But you know, Ron DeSantis, who's still out there, he's got a new ad today. calling Trump a chicken for not showing up at the Fox News debate. You know, like he's Marty McFly in the Back to the Future. You know, you call him chicken. He just won't give up, Ron DeSantis. He just can't hang. He just can't give up.
And by the way, I got the email this week that Sarasota Republican Party is having a dinner and will be hosting. The speaker is going to be Casey DeSantis.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, what's going to happen, Brian, is he's coming back to Florida because he's not going to win, and he's going to try to build up his reputation again. Well, all I'm going to tell people on the radio, if you hear me, please look at the legislation that was passed this year, okay? It's all smoke and mirrors. He really has done a lot of detriment to Florida. If you want,
and I'll also tell you, look at the beaches and the communities that got hit by last year's hurricanes. He built the bridge to Sanibel Island, but the beaches are a disaster in the hurricane-hit areas from the hurricanes last year. They have not been rebuilt like we've been led to believe in many instances.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate the call from MAGA Martin County. Take care. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. John, Washington State.
Hey, John. Turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on in the background, if you don't mind.
Yep, I turned it.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple things. You know how Trump's going to have a press conference on Monday about...
Mm-hmm. Yes. I didn't watch all of it, but I caught some of it yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
He votes was fraud.
Yeah. No, Mike Lindell's amazing, and his, Mike Lindell. When I was with him a little bit at the Turning Point in Palm Beach a few weeks ago, and Frank's Speech had a booth. And I was so impressed, they were broadcasting live on Frank's Speech with some of the Frank's Speech personalities. And I was so impressed, Mike Lindell was actually helping set up the booth himself with him. He was wearing his suit and tie and everything, but he was helping putting up the signs and getting everything together. I was pretty impressed by that because he's a millionaire and he owns the company. And he's got, that's why he's so successful. He's getting his hands dirty. You don't see that very often. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? It's Eddie from Virginia.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah, I just literally got done watching a local TV station.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in Virginia. I was watching online. I don't remember I can get the call signs if you want. And the Democrats have started a new. I don't know if I can call it a campaign or whatever, but they started a new strategy. They started talking about election interference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the reason they're doing that, the reason they've, not all, but a lot of the local news that you get around the country is not local. It's owned by one big company, and they have the same stories on their local stations throughout the country. So just because it says it's local doesn't mean it necessarily is. And they're trying to get this narrative going because there's obvious collusion between the media and these prosecutors against Trump. Listen, I gotta run for a break, but thanks for the call. Now, I want to tell you guys, I was talking about this. This is an amazing thing. I just realized this yesterday with the MyPillow, My Slippers. You can use our promo code Kane on all the specials at mypillow.com, and not just the ones I talk about. I share with you what I consider the best deals, the must-haves, my favorites. The MyPillow, My Slippers are absolutely amazing. I wear them every day. As soon as I get home, I put the slippers on. And I was talking to my wife about this last night. I didn't really realize it. When I put the slippers on, all the stress just immediately leaves my body. And she was going through with me, and I'm going to read this to you quickly here about the MyPillow, My Slippers, which, by the way, are as low as $25 a pair with our promo code Kane. There's a 4-tier cushioning system in the MyPillow, My Slippers. Layer 1 has the patented fill inside from the MyPillows. Isn't that something? That's where you get that comfort from. Layer 2 is memory foam. Layer 3 is impact gel. And layer 4 is that indoor-outdoor sole. And what it does is the MyPillow My Slippers hit all those pressure points of the foot. And when you put them on, it's the equivalent to me every day of getting a foot massage with both of my feet as soon as I put them on. They're amazing. They have a whole bunch of new colors in, a lot of new sizes, smaller sizes for women and kids, and there's some big and wide sizes for bigger guys as well. Go to MyPillow.com, order your MyPillow My Slippers as low as $25 a pair with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE. We'll be right back. Nope. Oh. All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, one of the fundamental questions that we get often is, what's the difference between a will and a trust? And, well, before I tell you what the differences are, similarities are they're both legal documents that say who you want your assets to go to. And it also names the fiduciary who's going to be in charge of the process of administering your assets to your beneficiary. So in a will, that fiduciary here in Florida, we call it a personal representative. In other states, you may have heard it called an executor or administrator. And in a trust, it's called a trustee or a successor trustee. But the differences are, first of all, a will becomes effective only when you die, meaning it doesn't help you during your lifetime, whereas a revocable living trust has living benefits and helps you during your lifetime. So if you're incapacitated, your successor trustee can step right in and take care of you with your assets the way the trust document says, the way you want it, without having to go to court, without having to deal with guardianship, without having to deal with lawyers, legal fees, courts, and a judge who's making decisions on who's going to ultimately be involved. And then also, when you have a will, your assets that are in your name at your death go through the probate process. Anything that's in your name at the time of your death without any beneficiary or joint owner goes through the probate process, whereas with a revocable living trust, your assets are in the trust and avoid the probate process. So you avoid probate, you avoid guardianship with the trust. And of course, the will is your ticket to probate and guardianship. So those are some of the key differences.
You know, it's amazing how, you know, Barry, we talk 3-4 times a week, been talking for years, and I learned things I never knew before. I had no idea that with the revocable living trust, that what it can do while the person's still alive. So whoever the trustee is, like I'm a trustee on a bunch of trust, if something happens and they're still alive, but they're in a vegetative state, or they're declared incompetent or something, the trust can actually go into effect, and I can start to take my role. That I did not know any of that. Isn't that something? I mean, it's amazing. That's why you want to go to the Siegel Law Group. You want to go to don't ask your friends. Don't go to that. The worst law firm of all is Google. That'll really mess things up. Call the Siegel Law Group. It's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the show, okay? Here's the number, 1-855-FLA-3782. And, you know, maybe one day, Barry, we don't have time now, but revocable living trust, the revocable is a very important key point, too, that I think a lot of people just kind of blow over. You know, but that's revocable, meaning you can make changes and things like this. Maybe we should probably talk about that sometime, because it's not written in stone. You can make changes as life changes. 1-855-FLA-3782 and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will finish the week tomorrow. Great. All right, back after this.
Social justice warriors for breakfast.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Isn't that something? The longest running radio show. That's an amazing thing, okay? It really is. There's a lot of radio. Florida is a bigger state than people realize. The state is huge. And this is the longest running show from Key West all the way up through the Panhandle. Isn't that something? Pretty amazing. If you're just tuning in, I've covered a lot today, but the main thing I covered at the top of the show at 6 is amazing. Mark Levin, who I consider to be the top conservative, constitutional, legal mind in America, Mark Levin said on Twitter that President Trump can pardon himself of local and state charges, in particular the ones in Fulton County, Georgia. That a president can pardon more than just federal crimes, that is not true, that is a liberal urban legend that presidents can only pardon federal crimes. Pretty amazing. And, oh boy, that throws a wrench in all their plans, doesn't it? All right, let's go back to the phones, and you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kofer from Delray Beach.
Tammy and Delray, what's on your mind?
I was wondering, regardless of everything going on, why didn't Trump just make a public announcement on January 6th and just say stop the violence publicly and everybody go home?
Oh, he did say that. He did say that. He did say that.
We didn't see it. I watched the TV all day.
Oh, you must have been in the bathroom when he said that. He came out and said, everyone go home in front of the White House.
At the beginning.
Well, how did, at the beginning, you mean like before?
When the violence started. Instead of waiting so long.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. A moment ago, you said that you didn't hear him tell anybody to leave and go home. So now, that was a lie, because now you're telling me that you know. And now your grievance is that he didn't say it fast enough for you.
Okay, don't
let me ask you this question. I'm not manipulating. I'm listening to every word. Tell me why you don't like Donald Trump.
Oh, I don't care about Donald Trump. I don't care about Biden. I'm an independent.
Oh, okay. You're an independent. Who'd you vote for in the last presidential election?
I did vote for Trump.
You voted for Trump. Why did you vote for Donald Trump, Miss Independent?
Because I was being greedy and thought he could work for my 401k.
You were being greedy? What do you mean you were being?
Because I didn't think that he really cared about people. I think he just cared about making money for the country, and he didn't care.
You know, let me ask you this, okay? Are you always telling lies, or are you just lying to me? First off, I'm not manipulating you. I'm not manipulating you. This is, please, you're just doing yourself in. You're telling me, first off, nobody believes you voted for Trump in 2020, but you said I voted for him because I was greedy?
Yes, I thought he could do great for my 401k. He did, but I don't think he did well for the common man.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. What did he not do? So you're an elitist. You're not a commoner. You're like a superior person in Delray Beach? Well, he said he helped you with your 401k, but he didn't help the common man, which means that you're above common people. You're not like the little normal people.
Well, you're a good manipulator, aren't you?
I'm not a manipulator. I just don't think you listen to what you say. I don't think you think before you speak too much.
I was more down to earth and more common before I made the money, and I liked the person. I was better before then when I cared more about people.
Oh, so you don't like yourself now? You're rich? How'd you make your money? You said you're rich. How'd you make your money?
I didn't say I was rich.
How am I lying? Being mistaken. Everything with you is a negative. Oh my goodness, you're poor. You're poor. Oh my goodness, a total victim. You said first being mistaken is not lying. I don't even know who you are or your name. You said you were a nicer person before you said you were a nicer person before you had money, right? You said you were Slow down. You said you were a nicer person before you made money. That means you used to be poor and you're no longer poor. So, like, what bracket would you consider yourself in?
Never said I was poor. Never said I...
You said you were nicer before when you had no money, you said you were a nicer person.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not nice now. You have money and you're not nice.
I didn't say I wasn't nice. I said nicer.
Oh, okay. So what about you is not nice now? You were nicer when you had no money. Now you have money and you're not as nice. What do you do now that's not as nice that you used to do before you had money?
I don't contribute as much money as I used to. I try and hide it in taxes and such as that.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you commit fraud? You commit income tax fraud? What are you talking about? You know, listen. If you would just tell the truth, you would do much better in this call. It's okay. You know, this is what you understand. This is what you don't understand. You know what she's doing? She's not a complete fool. You know that as a Democrat, you have no credibility in public. So you're trying to pass yourself off for something other than what you are.
Not a Democrat. Independent.
Independently liberal.
You just bulldoze right over people when you don't want to hear what they have to say.
If I didn't want to hear you, I would have ended the call. I don't have to continue the call. I've kept you on the air.
Try and manipulate the conversation.
I'm not manipulating you.
Stop talking.
Oh my goodness. How long have you been divorced?
Never. Been 45 years.
Oh my goodness, your poor husband. You talk to your husband this way?
Oh my goodness, you are a misogynist male.
Ah.
You realize women aren't allowed to have rights and speak up.
Yeah.
No,
No, my wife is better at having polite conversation than you are.
Well,
so you said you voted for Trump in 2020. Who did you vote for, Hillary or Trump in 2016? Who did you vote for, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
You won't let anybody speak. You just walk right over your wife. He kneels down to be polite to you. Apparently, it agrees with you. Probably, so stop talking.
Who did you vote for in 2016? Did you vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump in 2016?
I'm ashamed to say I did not vote.
Okay. All right.
Didn't care back then.
All right. You said I'm bulldozing you and not letting you speak. I stopped speaking, but now you have nothing to say.
No, I have plenty to say. I just have to get a word in when you're not going to talk over me. First of all, I never said I was rich. You said I was rich, and then you used the word liar on me, and then I said something about making a mistake, and then you said something about making a mistake, and it was, you said, can't I not, I'm sorry, I'm driving. I'm going to have to end this call.
Oh, you got to end the call. No, okay, yeah, thank you very much. Oh, my goodness. Does anyone believe she voted for Trump in 2020? Does anyone believe that? You're on the air. What's your name? You notice these liberal callers, they use profanity, they're dry, you know. I love it when complaining that I don't let her speak. I stop talking, and then all of a sudden she's got to go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Augustino from Georgia.
Hey, Augustino.
Hey, I got to ask you a question, and that was a wild call you just had. You have some really crazy calls. But listen, I got to ask you a question. What do you think about, you think Donald Trump is going to be able to run for president?
He's running now. He is running.
Yeah, but I know, but they said something about him not being able to be on the ballot.
No, he'll be on the ballot. He can be on the ballot. Don't worry.
Well, I just wondered if I could write him in.
You're not going to have to write him in. His name's going to be printed on the ballot. Donald John Trump.
Well, that's okay then. Marjorie Taylor Greene is right then. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Augustino. All right, take care, Augustino. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben. Do you think that lady from Del Rey voted for Trump in 2020?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm calling it about. Your problem thinks she was a liar. I think her problem, she was so ignorant and dumb, where she says things like Trump didn't help the common man, she's not interested in voting, and then she votes selfishly. She's all over the place. I couldn't stand listening to her. She sounds like she's like so low IQ that I don't think you can have a conversation with someone who just says such wildly stupid and innate.
And you know what? I don't like. I don't like people who sing when they talk. And there was a lot of singing in the voice there. Do you know what I mean? I didn't get into that. You know, the way she was talking, like, say, listen, she's a good liberal. If she's a good liberal, she understands that if she tells people she's a liberal, she has no credibility. So she has to try to pass herself off for us, you know. And you hear all the things she says. Give me a break. I voted for Trump because I was selfish. I was nicer before I had money. I'm not as nice now that I have money.
You know, she has all these regrets about not being a good person, an ethical person, but then when you go through her history that she's telling us, oh, I was greedy, the common man, I made money now, like, you can't have a conversation with someone.
And you hear the victimhood mentality, the anger towards a man. If a man questions her, I'm bulldozing, I won't let, you know, come on.
You were simply scrutinizing her own words, and she didn't like it. Like, she should have stood her ground. She should have been a little more forceful, and then stop complaining about, you know, if you're going to call into a talk show, stand your ground and stop playing the little old victim.
Yes.
The thing that bothered me the most is when she said Trump wasn't for the common man. He is a populist. He rode to the election on a wave of populism. I don't know what is Biden for the common man? This guy is destroyed. I'm losing so much money because of Biden, how expensive everything is. So
Everybody is. Everybody is, unless you're on the take for China like our officials. Listen, I got to run for the break. I'm greedy. We got to play commercials. We'll be back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700.
Yeah.
She was talking, like,
yeah.
like you said, the little sing-song voice. Honestly,
I hate that singing in the voice. You know what you know what I mean by? Oh, I hate that. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, please. I can't even do it. It's so annoying. But you know what I mean. Oh, I was nicer when I didn't have money.
It sounded like she was just trying to, like, everything she was weird.
Yeah.
Definitely just trolled to get people, try to get under your skin. And then
Oh, nobody's gonna get under my skin on the phone.
She was trying, because the second like you said, you just stopped talking so she can, because you were bulldozing her. The second you stopped talking, she backed out and went.
Exactly. Got nothing to say. Oh, I love talking to Democrats. In small doses, not too much. Yeah. Independently liberal. Yeah, Valley Girl. No. No. Jay from Jersey, he's like the spokesperson from Fani Willis's office. She was in the car. I could tell she was in the car.
Sources confirmed to ESPN that U.S. women's national soccer team manager Latko Andonovski has resigned after the World Cup embarrassment.
The decision comes less than 2 weeks after Team USA, four-time tournament champions, got knocked out of the Women's World Cup earlier
missed 4 goals the entire tournament. Before this year, the worst the U.S. has ever finished was in 3rd place.
ABC's Lionel Moise. Officials on Maui have announced that the death toll from the wildfires is now up to 111, with recovery resources streaming into the island, and the White House has announced that President Biden and the First Lady will travel to Maui on Monday. Family says Ada Deer died in hospice. The Native American leader from Wisconsin was the first woman to head the Bureau of Indian Affairs appointed by Clinton.
Yeah, we've had some good calls today. See, what the deal is with that caller is she's got a stereotype of what conservatives are. Greedy, you know, that kind of stuff. We'll be coming back in about a minute. A little less than a minute. My cat's a better candidate than Fetterman. What happened to Fetterman? You don't hear about Fetterman anymore.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve King Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, let me tell you, we've heard from a lot of liberals today, Steve, and lots of panic, lots of profanity. You know, they got 4 indictments against President Trump. Why are these liberals doing everything they can do to get off the phone when they call in? They should be celebrating. They got the 4 indictments they've been hoping for and dreaming of for years.
Yesterday, because I figured it out yesterday, that Trump's going to win this thing in the end. I really...
Well, there's a new poll out. The Morning Consult poll, he's got a 41-point lead and sitting at 57%.
See, the thing with this Jack Shack or whatever is...
Deranged Jack Smith is his name.
Jack Smith is not very bright. And when I was listening to some of the commentary from our people, the knowledgeable people in our group, you can really see that there's a trap being set for Jack.
Oh yes.
And you can tell it because the anger level on their side, on the anti-Trump side, grows. Each day you can hear they're angrier and angrier, and I think the bottom line, if you're looking for to kind of sum it up, Jack is not very smart. And the more I listened yesterday to their plan and the stuff, the direction they're going in, there's no way they're destroying their case.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when, you know, it's interesting. The thing I love about Trump is he is so used to speaking the truth that it just kind of comes out naturally with him. For example, this one line that I love so much that he does, he says, you remember when he said, we're going to win this thing. He said, all I need is one more
one more indictment.
He's been saying that regularly, and I hadn't taken it that seriously, but that's his plan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He realizes that every day that goes by, the opposition forces are getting more desperate and more angry, and they've set up a thing where it's going to take. How long is this trial?
They're trying to get the new one in March. Now, there's some new stuff. Mark Levin, I opened the show with this at 6. Mark Levin said, yeah.
Pleasantly surprised at your remarks about Mark Levin, because we've disagreed on him in the past.
Yeah, no, Mark, you know, his Sunday night show is boring, but okay, it's terminally boring, but that doesn't mean he's not right sometimes. And Mark Levin is, in my opinion, I can't think of one greater, he is the #1 conservative Republican constitutional attorney in America, right? And no, I think everyone will agree. It doesn't mean his radio show is not bad, but his Sunday night Fox show is boring. But anyway, right before bed too, right? You fall asleep right after, I bet. The Mark Levin, though, analysis was brilliant. He said that it's a liberal urban legend that presidents can only pardon federal crimes. He said, in fact, President Trump can pardon himself on these local Fulton County charges in Georgia, which is pretty amazing. And I wanted to play this clip again. I played this in the first hour. This is amazing. Now, right now, we're in primary season, so the only voices that matter are Republican voices, because those are the ones who are going to decide who's going to get the Republican nomination, not Democrats. And NBC News, I share this because NBC News hates Trump like the plague. Well, they don't hate plagues anymore over at NBC. They hate him like they used to hate plagues. And liberal Trump-hating NBC News sent a reporter and a news crew to Iowa to talk to Iowa Republicans and asked them how the 4 indictments against President Trump are affecting their decision when it comes to who to vote for in the Iowa caucus, which, of course, is important because it's first, right? Listen to this. NBC News, Iowa Republicans, how have these 4 indictments affected your choice in voting for Trump in the primary?
Do you think that most people care that he's been indicted for a 4th time? No. No, that just makes me want to vote for him more.
That's #1. I love that guy.
Better than anything I could say.
Isn't that great?
No, you know what this whole thing is set, this massive lawsuit that Jack is...
Deranged Jack Smith?
You know what day that all these trials are going to occur? Tuesday. Did you know?
Yeah. Yes.
I realized that yesterday.
Yeah. Yes.
And how dumb is this Jack Smith or whatever?
Yeah.
Because these are the kind of mistakes he makes that infuriates the Trump supporters and even the non-Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Was any question in their mind if he was being treated fairly or not when they wake up and it's Super Tuesday and none of the cases are ready, or they're desperately scrambling to put together a series of cases at the last minute? People are going to get more pissed and more.
That's right.
I'm not talking about Republicans, and I'm not talking about hardcore Trump supporters. I'm talking about the average guy that's just starting to take notice.
Yeah. Well, let me play the rest of this, Steve. Yeah, so let me play the rest of this before we break. Again, this is liberal, Trump-hating NBC News went to Iowa and asked Republicans how the 4 indictments will impact their vote in the primary.
Do you think that most people care that he's been indicted for a fourth time? No. No, that just makes me want to vote for him more. No.
Exactly.
No. Why did he get indicted? Because the Democrats don't like him.
I guess I really don't know. They're just trying to dig up stuff so they can bring it up so that he doesn't run again. Because everybody knows how society is nowadays. If you want to hide something, you just indict them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. This is not how it was supposed to be. They thought that the Republicans would turn against him because we don't want to be in court every day talking about documents.
Totally underestimated him.
Oh, they've underestimated the country. They've misread the country. Listen, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. Took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yeah, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on a train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited.
Around in a racist white neighborhood, and I noticed how if I see a pickup truck with an American flag, it's basically like the Confederate flag. Like every time I see an American flag, I cringe because the American flag is like the new Confederate flag, right? Safe to say, if you see a pickup truck with the American flag, that person is a racist. Okay, if you have an American flag in front of your house, you're probably a racist. You're probably a racist. In a racist white.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family. Giving back to their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Stevens here. I want to add something on to the Dr. Appleton's recorded commercial. You know, in a recorded, that was a lady who called me live on the air. And in a recorded commercial, we're limited on time, and it couldn't fit everything in that she said. And did you hear that commercial during the break, Steve? Okay. The woman from Orlando that brought, the woman in Orlando who brought her mother from Orlando down here to see Dr. Appleton, and now she's pain-free. Let me tell you, there's more to that story. I just didn't have time in the recorded time we're allowed to get it all in. Her mother lives in New York. She's suffering, or was suffering, with pain. She couldn't find help in New York. She heard us talking about Dr. Appleton and the great work he does. She brought her mother from New York to Orlando, got in the car with her mother in Orlando, drove 3 hours each way to see Dr. Appleton in Broward County. And now her mother's pain-free, went back to New York on the train. That is amazing, and that is such a testament. And I feel I'm just so happy that we helped this family. Living with pain it's a disability. I know, because I had it before Dr. Appleton rid me of all my pains. If I don't know if the laser away pain treatment works on these liberal callers, the pains that they cause us, but the pains in my body are gone. Just like that nice lady who called in about her mother. That was just an amazing story that she did that. Listen, Dr. Appleton is open Monday through Saturday. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. I want to play this audio here. This is a white woman, which is important to the clip, okay, because you may not think she's white by listening to her speak, but this is a white woman who's talking about our great American flag with a G, okay? Let me turn up the volume. Here we go. This is was just posted online yesterday.
Walking around in a racist white neighborhood, and I noticed how if I see a pickup truck with an American flag, it's basically like the Confederate flag. Like, every time I see an American flag, I cringe, because the American flag is like the new Confederate flag, right? It's safe to say, if you see a pickup truck with the American flag, that person is a racist. Okay, if you have an American flag in front of your house, you're probably a racist. You're probably a racist.
Okay, now, I know, what a lunatic, and she's white, by the way. She's in a white racist neighborhood, she says, I guess because there's American flags in front of the houses there. And I don't know what neighborhood it is or even where in the country she's at. But you know, when you see the popularity of President Trump, all this hate America nonsense that they've been brainwashing people with, like this woman is a victim of, hasn't really been as effective as you would think, Steve. Yeah. Exactly. You know, and this anti-Americanism that we hear so often in the media is a very, very small minority whose numbers are blown well out of proportion from the corporate media.
Starved for the old days of patriotism. Believe me.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And you know, and I was talking about this earlier, Steve. I was making this comparison. They got 4 indictments against President Trump. Katie Hobbs in Arizona is talking about a 5th indictment out of Arizona. I did not know that the governor was a law enforcement officer, but apparently she is. They're talking about a 5th indictment out of Arizona. And I was making this comparison to what the Democrats are doing to Joe McCarthy. Joe McCarthy, when he started calling people communist, was very popular. And you were around. You watched that stuff live on TV. But what happened with Joe McCarthy, he was right, by the way. The commies have taken over large parts of this country. But back then, he was very but Joe McCarthy, when he first started the Red Scare era, okay, he was very popular. And he had a lot of support. And then he started calling too many people communist. Everybody was a communist, right? And he just overplayed his hand. That's when he lost the support that he had. The people that were even supporting Joe McCarthy dropped him because he went to the well too many times. And that's what I see happening with these deranged Democrats with Trump. If they would have stuck with 1 indictment somewhere, obviously that still would have been wrong. But they've come after...
A lot of people realized yesterday in listening to the dialogue.
Well, they've come after Trump too many times, is what I mean. They've just piled on too much. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much.
holy cow, this is some phony rap.
What they've done by coming down with so many indictments in so many different jurisdictions is they've just lost credibility. It looks like what it is, even to their own supporters.
Fair. That's the problem they're having. And every day, more and more Americans who are only following it peripherally, every day more and more Americans realize that this is a hack job.
Yes.
Phony job.
Mm-hmm.
To culminate on election day.
Yeah. No, exactly.
In case they miss the point, they're going to get it on Super.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and if you look at the polls that we're getting the first polls after the fourth indictment now, Trump's gone up in every poll, and I know they'll keep telling you, they keep going to individual polls and say, oh, Ramaswamy's beating is number 2, or Scott is number 2 here, and it's not. Yeah.
I gotta give you credit when you're right. You're certainly right about him. I was neutral about him. I just thought he was insignificant. What a phony.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He can't. Well, I'll tell you what turned the lights on for me.
The Eminem rap.
Well, no, that didn't bother me. I like Eminem. That wasn't the thing. What bothers me is he very subtly, he picked a day, one day last week, to basically come out and turn on Trump. I don't know if anyone...
I missed this. What happened?
Very inconspicuously, he basically said, it's too important election win, so I'm going to declare that. He was only half trying up to that point, but now he realized that it's time for us all to come together to unite.
Behind him.
Obviously behind him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was so phony and so fake, and it just infuriated me. In fact, Hannity, who had Schwami on last night, even gave him a little bit of a tough time. It was nice to see that, because
yeah,
Hannity and Trump were.
Well, but you know what, Steve? When they do, I'm glad you've woken up to Ramaswamy, because you were getting aggravated with me about that last week.
Significant. Now I realize he's a real phony.
Yeah, he is. He's a creep. But you know, these polls that are coming out in the different states, they'll say, "Oh, now in second place, Ramaswamy. Now in second place, Scott." They're further behind than ever from Trump. These lowly rated people, okay, they're not increasing support at all. Just support, the little support they have is moving around between them. So it's not the anti-Trump Republicans running against him aren't gaining ground on Trump. They're losing ground on Trump. They're just rearranging who's in second place. It's still insignificant. Well, what's happening is Fox News is finally accepting that Trump's not going to come to their debate. So they're trying to hype up the significance of the poll numbers with these losers that are like in single digits, so that they can have like a credible debate. Now listen, we got to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian Craig. Well, I'm not sure where we are. Where are we to pick up on?
I was talking about this week's debate.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're going to see daytime highs today right around 90 degrees with widespread heavy rains this afternoon. Deluge-type downpours are a real likelihood today, so consider that from about 2 until 7 p.m. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies Traffic Check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
News for the commute through the Palm Beaches. I-95 and the Turnpike remain crash-free. Delay subsiding now on 95 heading northbound, passing Lakewood Road. We're still pretty slow on the Turnpike heading northbound from Lakewood Road up to the Beeline Highway. We have a couple multi-vehicle crashes out there as well. Summit Boulevard at Kirk Road. A new incident now on Hyperlook, so we're at 441. And we're still seeing the usual delays. Stop and go 95 heading northbound from Deerfield to Chinaboga. This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds at Blindster.com. They offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Sunday, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show featuring amazing vendors.
But they gave you a spot to play today?
No, just the next show.
Oh, the show. Oh, it's gonna be recorded.
Zoom.
Oh.
So I gotta get, like, just have it open. So
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
It's too. That's too fly by night.
Yeah, I was like, nobody do it now before it's all.
Yeah.
It's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-armed doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from
Be back in just about a minute.
Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally.
I think the Fox News debate is Wednesday next week, right?
We carry thousands of supplements like
Pretty
vitamins,
sure.
minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free.
Yeah, it's Wednesday next week. 23rd. It's Wednesday.
Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
We don't know where they're going to air it. Do you think they'll carry it on all the? I'm sure it'll be on Newsmax.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers. Pay cash for houses. If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. You can sell us your home in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. We can even pay you a cash advance before the closing. And we guarantee to make you a fair and honest offer. Our home buying process is simple, and we can make you a cash offer over the phone or in person, whatever works for you. Do you have a home that needs a lot of work? Did you inherit a house you don't want? No problem. We can buy your home no matter the condition or situation. You don't need to clean or fix anything, and there's no commissions or closing costs. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, we'll buy it. Call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070.
All right, 30 seconds.
570-7070.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business.
I'm sure Right Side will carry it.
Location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. So, Steve, the debate is Wednesday next week on Fox News. The wannabe debate. A week from yesterday, Wednesday, the 23rd, is the Fox News debate. So we'll be talking about it the day after, and I'm going to have to break my Fox News ban and watch it so we can talk about it. But to me, having a presidential debate without Trump, it's like a mock debate. It's like it's not even a real debate.
But I still think he should set up his own event opposite the debate.
No one's. He's got his own event with his press conference. No one. Steve. No. This I've told you this. I do not want President Trump to have an event while the Fox News debate is on. And I'll tell you. I told you why. First, no one's going to carry it. Fox certainly isn't going to carry it because they got the debate. It'll get carried on Newsmax. Okay. Newsmax is not in everyone's home like Fox is. The Fox News debate could beat it in the ratings since no one would carry it but Newsmax. And then the story the day after will be Trump lost the debate because he had fewer viewers than the Fox News debate. So it's a bad idea to have an event opposite the Fox News debate because they'll have a story. To have the debate without Trump, though, Brett Baer and Martha McCallum must be sick about it because it's just stupid. How can you have a presidential debate in the Republican primary without the front runner? And you've got these other guys that are like 8%, 0%, 1%. Come on. It's stupid. It's stupid. But you and I have to watch it so we can talk about it the next day. But it's going to be probably one of the lowest rated debates ever in a primary because Trump's not there. It's just dumb. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Vincent Wellington. You're right on point, though. You're talking about people that have literally no chance, regardless if Trump were to fall off of a building today, they still wouldn't have a chance.
I want you to think about this. The new poll that's out today, Tim Scott is 2 points ahead of you, caller, in the latest Republican poll. 2 points ahead. Trump's at 60 in the latest poll.
This is why I just don't even understand. It doesn't even have the feel of a primary election season. Nothing does. It all feels scripted. It all feels fake. It just all, and Fox will fall flat with the ratings, regardless of what Trump does.
Good.
It will fall flat. And that's what I feel like is that they're not going to get the 35-year-olds to engage in this election primary season without Trump. They're fooling themselves to think that an 18-year-old gives a crap about Ramaswamy or Ron DeSantis.
But they have no choice. What are they going to do?
They're foolish. They're just...
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it.
It's almost a slap in the face.
Steve, if you have if you're a singer, right? If you're like a singer and you have a concert, you can't have the concert if you're not selling tickets. And sometimes, you know, the story about how it's going to be such a boring debate and it's going to be lowly rated. There's more negatives to not having it and canceling it than there's more negatives to having it than to cancel it. Well, they should.
Nobody's going to cancel it. They're not going to cancel it at this point because it would just make them look bad, like they put themselves in their...
Steve, you know what listen, you and I don't experience this, but other people in broadcasting do. You know that feeling. Sometimes you're listening to a show on another radio station. They have no listeners, and the on-air person knows it. You know, remember like Mark Scheinbaum knew he had no listeners, and he was for Martha McCallum. I'm gonna watch it just for the train wreck aspect of it because Martha McCallum and Brett Baer are very, I promise you, they feel like they have no viewers during this debate, and they feel stupid doing it, and they're angry and everything else. It's a train wreck.
Show on camera. It's definitely
yes.
On camera. The fact that they're ignoring, they're not even going to talk about Trump on that debate. They're not even going to bring him up.
You think? What else would they talk about then?
They're going to ploy for themselves and say that he's going to be in jail. He's going to go to prison. They're going to go and concede to the.
So what will the results of that be?
The result of that will be is that Trump's poll numbers are going to skyrocket right after, because we're all going to see that they're all just, it's a sham. It's a sham election.
I got you, Steve.
As he's been telling us lately, all he needs is one more
indictment. Well, he got it. The one in Georgia, and that was before Georgia, so he got it. The Georgia indictment is the one that he needed. Yeah. Now listen, there's only one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Before we go back to the phones, I want to tell everyone, and this is a limited time offer, so take advantage of it while we are offering it, because one day you're just not going to hear us talking about it anymore. The Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation. If you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Okay, Sloman's, they're going to get, this is amazing, okay? They're going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, a backup battery, and if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. I have this doorbell camera. You'll love it. Not just because of the security aspect. It's convenient when people are coming to the house. You can see who's there before they even get to the door, because you get a notification when there's movement in front of the house. It's a great thing. So be one of the first 40 listeners to call to take advantage, okay? 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, good morning. Jesus, I'm talking, Brian. It's Tom. You know what, dude? I don't even know what you guys would talk about before Trump came along, man. I mean, you guys are Trump's personal puppets, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
I must be uncomfortable, but hey, what are you going to tell?
For those of you out there, this is the sound. You're going to hear a lot of this in the coming months, okay? This is the sound of a man who's just realized that he's going to get massacred in the election. And all this faith in because of all the cheating that didn't work.
Yeah. Yep. A man's man.
Am I right, sir?
Honestly, absolutely. I
No, Steve, he said absolutely. He said you were right, Steve.
Before you forget what you asked, okay? I'm saying to you that I am in a situation where I do not believe that Trump is the answer. That kissing his butt all the time and everything that we talk about is Trump, 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 and anything that doesn't have to do with Trump.
Tom, I want to ask you a question. And by the way, thank you for calling us Trump puppets. I consider that a compliment. I'm a proud Trump puppet. You said that you said Trump is not the answer. You do not believe Trump is the answer. Could you please tell us who, in your opinion, is the answer, and what answer do they have?
I'm saying that this country is in a very, very...
No. You said you do not... Sorry, it's just a simple question. I'm going to ask the question again so you can have more time to try to think of an answer. You said you do not believe Trump is the answer. My question to you is, who do you believe is the answer, and what are they answering?
Well, you see, this is the thing about politics, Brian. What we've gone through for many years and made our country great. People discuss, people to make their point.
So you don't have a.
You want me to answer?
Which one
People
of these
don't
jokers?
just blindly follow.
One of these, put them on hold. Which one of these jokers that you're looking at, once you take Trump out of the picture, which one of these guys do you expect to make our country?
Who do I think has more integrity than Trump?
Don't reword my question.
He's answering.
Which one of these jokers do you think, outside of, if you take Trump out of the equation, which one of these guys do you look to make our country great?
Honestly, I don't have much faith in any of them.
Nobody, no one but Trump.
And I don't have much faith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only Trump.
Right.
Yeah, you're with us. You're on the Trump. You're a Trump puppet now.
You go.
I'm the Trump puppet now. Okay. Is that
you just said it.
Well, listen, it is time for our break. So on that wonderful note, I mean, we've just converted someone, new MAGA. Tom is now MAGA Tom. Isn't that nice? MAGA Tom. See, boom. That's why we talk to liberals, because we convert them. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
A cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, and on the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca, we have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals are up today, and rightfully so, after taking out $1,900 support level on gold yesterday and closing down $10.10 at $1,891.50 the ounce for gold. Silver was down 14 cents at $22.38. Platinum was down $6 at $8.84, and palladium was down $29 at $11.79. Of course, one day does not a market make. And we are back over $1,900 again this morning at $19.0150. That's up $10.20. Some of you came in and took advantage of that nice dip yesterday, and I think you'll be happy that you did. Silver up 47 cents right now at $22.85. Platinum up $26 at $910, and palladium up $21 at $1,200 the ounce. So. Great buying opportunity at or around this $1,900 number for gold and under $23 for silver. Just a great buying opportunity. Take advantage of these dips. Summer sales are going on right now in the precious metals.
Yeah, and it's true. And I just want to point something out from some of the past reports in the last few days. You've been telling us, well, you've been telling us on all the metals that, you know, where things are on sale. I just want to focus in on platinum right now. You were telling us last week and early this week, platinum, it's under 900. Platinum it's the time, and now platinum's up over $20 today. So when you hear William Youngerman say things like today, the metals are on sale, this is a buying opportunity, take his advice. How long have you been in business, William Youngerman?
Just short of 60 years now.
You hear that? 60 years. That's right. It's absolutely amazing. So take his advice and everything is looking great to buy, and you can give him a call no matter where you're located. You can do business over the phone, both buying and selling, at 1-800-327-5010. He opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. If you can, stop in. William Youngerman's shop is really a museum, and I'm not exaggerating. It's beautiful. You've got beautiful display cases there, and anytime I stop in, I'm just fascinated looking at the coins and the metals. It's really beautiful. At 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Take it.
Back after this.
Show is on the...
All right, we are back. There are actually two openings on the board, Steve, as we celebrate converting Tom into MAGA Tom today. That was just boom. That was quick too. How many times do we have to talk to that guy to bring him around? That was just amazing.
Good guy.
Yeah.
He's just frustrated because somehow he's taken it into his head that Trump, he doesn't like Trump.
Yeah.
He realized that Trump's going to...
You know, I find with a lot of guys, with a lot of men that have problems with Trump, I would imagine, I don't know, maybe we could talk to Dr. Lebowski about this one morning. I would imagine penis envy, well, maybe some might have problems with their fathers. You know, there might be some demons they have with their fathers, and Trump is a man's man and a father figure, and that, you know, triggers them. Yeah, a strong man. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. It's Juan. From Trump never lets me down. He said that he was not going to participate in, or we just found out that he's not going to participate in those debates. But and I know that this show has his ears. What he needs to do is either have a rally or go to even CNN and have an event over there, because everybody's going to watch Trump, not that fake debate. CNN would put it.
They're not going to have him back after what he did to Caitlin Collins last time. He cleaned her clock. Last time he was on CNN. They fired. Last time they had him on CNN, he cleaned their clock. They fired the head of CNN over it, and they apologized to the viewers.
But listen to this, though, guys. You know what? When he was over there at CNN, you know, the one thing that Trump said that it got by a lot of people, he said, I didn't want to have you know, go to CNN, and he told Sean Hannity this. I don't want to compete against you because I want to defeat you. And you know, this is who Trump is. He's not going to sit there and let these people just plow over him.
Yeah, and look, Juan, how much ground Donald Trump is getting. He's bringing people over to the Trump train that were not on it before, like Tom before the break, MAGA Tom now, very anti-Trump, and now he's with us.
But that's the way Trump.
And if he did decide to, on a lark tonight or one night, go over to CNN, he'd convert people at CNN.
They're not going to have him. They're not going to let him on CNN after last time.
No, they're not. Have a rally then.
That no one's going to carry. That no one will carry but Newsmax. It's a bad idea, Juan. He'll have lower ratings than Fox if he does that, because no one will carry it except Newsmax, and they're. Yes.
Why do you think Fox wants them on that debate?
Newsmax is not on enough people's cable systems. It's too risky. It's too risky.
Trump does not need these carriers to help him.
No. We want the listen, on Thursday, you know, what Steve and I do for a living is marketing, okay? If you haven't noticed. What we do, we have filler in between the spots, but we're marketers, okay? That's what broadcasting is. Okay. The story that we want, the debate is Wednesday. The Fox News debate is Wednesday. The story we want on Thursday is how low the ratings were and how vacuous the debate was without Trump.
Why would the ratings be low? Because Donald Trump is not there. So therefore,
but the event won't be carried on television except on Newsmax, and it will not be able to have the ratings that the Fox News debate has because it's not on enough cable systems.
You know what? It's up to Trump. He knows.
Oh my God! All right, Juan. But if you're not available on the TV, you know, it's a risk.
What Juan said is where it's at.
No. Oh, always. I trust in Trump. Always. If Trump decides to do it, he'll. Yeah. I trust Trump's judgment. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't think he's going to do a counter event. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Mike in Fort Lauderdale. How are you?
Hey, Michael.
Morning. Good. Quick question. I'm a Trump supporter, and I was watching just for a few seconds MSNBC, and these people are crazy there. They have Trump, like 60% people disapprove of him. I'm like, where are they coming up with these numbers?
I think they do their polls at gay bars and, drag shows.
And then they also have Biden leading Trump by like 49% to 44%, something like that.
Yeah.
Poll in the
Yeah. In L.A. In L.A. Yeah.
Whatever station, like both stations, you know, MSNBC and Newsmax, it's like totally different stories. It's like, who do you believe, you know?
Listening to MSNBC is like a trip to another planet.
It's like, who do you believe? It's crazy, you know?
Not MSNBC, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Quick question: What do you think of Ted Cruz as vice president?
I don't trust Ted Cruz. His father was connected to the Kennedy assassination plot, which I know Steve doesn't like me to get into it. So, but you know, but I no, and he's too connected to the Bushies. He does what we need him to do, but I would not want him to be vice president.
Big Trump supporter, and he talks like he's, you know, a big supporter of Trump, and, you know, I like what he says, but like I said, you know, who knows?
They're probably going to be too simple. I don't know how to put.
Now, Steve, I got to tell you, Tucker Carlson did an extensive interview with Robert Kennedy Jr., and he talked about the election for like an hour and his campaign. You know, and Robert Kennedy Jr. is at 17% now. He's higher than any of the Republicans running against Trump in the Republican primary. But anyway, he did a second interview. It was like only about the Kennedy assassinations, both Kennedys, and it was fascinating. He just pulled it all apart. It's real. I'm going to try to. It was online. I'll try to get you that interview. You'll love it. It was beautiful. It was not. No, I don't want to get sidetracked now because we got, you know, but it's pretty good. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk to you about it. But hey, listen, thanks for calling. All right, take care. Yeah, you're welcome. Great show. Yes, I cut him off 2 seconds. Yeah. No, it was some of it, but it was good stuff. The deep state. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Steve.
Ugh.
I'm in Lake Worth this time. Roger Stone, he discussing about Roger Stone?
No, we're not talking about Roger Stone. It's not open phones today. Mark Levin said Mark Levin said that Trump can pardon himself on the Georgia charges.
Jail. How's he gonna be?
Well, because you can be elected from jail.
You don't have any idea how the 14th Amendment works.
Well, I didn't know you were an attorney.
I know constitutional law.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know constitutional law. Can you tell me what the 32nd Amendment is?
There's no 32nd Amendment.
Uh-huh. How many amendments are there? This is our constitutional expert. All right, thank you for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi.
Yes.
Who's this?
You're on the air, caller. Oh, my goodness. It sounds like you.
Oh, great. I just want to make a strong suggestion to all Republicans who are fed up with Republicans sitting back on their knees and doing nothing. Go to your town hall. Change your voter registration to independent. Can you imagine the message that we the people would send to the Republican Party?
Yeah.
78 million.
That would be a terrible idea. That'd be a terrible idea, because you can, in the primary, you can only vote in the Republican primary if you're a registered Republican, and if you're a registered independent, you can't vote for Trump in the primary in Florida, and DeSantis might win.
Yep, it's the same in my state. So you go back just before the primary and you change yourself back.
It doesn't work that way. It's different in every state. That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. We would lose primaries if we did that. You can barely get people to vote. They're so lazy. You're going to get them to change the registration to independent and then no, that's a crazy idea.
Yeah, that is true. People are so lazy and they just stand back and watch. It's sad. It's sad what's happening.
We love you anyway.
Yeah, you're a great caller. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Great calls today. I want to talk, Steve, about the... some days better than others. Today has been a spectacular day with callers. I mean, we've had some really spectacular calls. Just a quick mention here on the My Pillow, My Slippers. You know, I learned about them. I know you wear the My Pillow, My Slippers all the time, Steve. Do you know that inside the My Pillow, My Slippers, part of why they're so comfortable is they have that patented fill from the pillows inside of them? I did not know that. I did not know that. And yeah, I noticed. I put my slippers on when I go home every day, and the stress out of my body just goes away. And it's that patented fill inside. The My Pillow, My Slippers are like wearing my pillows. You'll love them, and they're as low as $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. They have a whole bunch of new sizes and colors in, larger and wider sizes. I don't have them off the top of my head, and I've only got like 10 seconds, so I don't have time to look them up. But there's all kinds of new colors for both men and women. They have larger sizes and wider sizes for larger guys. They have smaller sizes for women and children, and they're as low as $25 a pair with the promo code Kane at checkout. Now, tomorrow is Friday. That means open phones. We call open phones Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on tomorrow's show, Open MAGA Mike Friday, anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Oh, please don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. All right, I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow at 6 a.m. All right, guys. See you. Thanks for watching.